What's happening, YouTube? It's been a while. I had a video that was supposed to be scheduled, and for some reason it didn't go live. So, it's up right now. But this is not about that. This is about Project Action. Now, if you guys have been following the cut testing that a lot of YouTubers and Instagram guys have been doing, like Super Stool Steve and, gosh, I knew I was going to forget the other name. Anyway, a bunch of channels out there doing some testing on steels and correlating how some of these steels are underperforming, especially M390, because they're not at the correct Rockwell. So, a lot of talk's been going on back and forth among different channels, among different YouTube or Instagram. So, one particular individual by the name of Alchemy1, Clint, he has got YouTube, Alchemy1, I'll link in the description, and he's on Instagram as Alchemy1. And if you're not subscribed to his channel, please go do so, because you should be. He should have way more subscribers than he has. But he decided to take action. Instead of all this back and forth and circling discussions about how HRC really doesn't matter that much, and how it does matter, and there's other things, and blah, blah, blah. We were actually, myself included, taking part of this Project Action. So a few of us got together. He put a challenge out, and I decided to join, as well as SharpDad33, which is Patrick, my longtime knife buddy. And I'm going to totally butcher this name on Instagram, and I'm just going to link it down below. But Odorant Dum Metuant. I know that Clint had a hard time with that too, so I don't feel bad. We've all kind of come together, and we've put forth some money of our own, as well as we've asked for some donations, which I'll get to in a minute. But we're going to send off 3, maybe 4 knives. We're actually maybe increasing it because we've had a lot of good response from the community, which is awesome to see. And I've donated this knife here. This is a Para 2 M390 DLT, from the latest batch of the M390 DLTs. This is actually like a perfect specimen of a knife, brand spanking new. And these should be at, I think, around 62 Rockwell. I could be wrong on the number, but they're right where they should be, essentially. Like a recent Redditor person on Reddit had it tested, and it came back high. But we know that Spyderco, see, that's a brand new in the box knife. We know that Spyderco can do a really good heat treat. Like, they always seem to maximize the heat treat on their knives. So, we're sending this in, and an S30V Para 2 donated by White Mountain Knives, brand spanking new in the box, and an M390 slip joint from Lion Steel. The name is escaping me. So that was donated by Odorant. I'm just going to call you that. Sorry, bro. Sorry, man. That's been donated. So a couple of us have donated knives. Clint put together a PayPal address where people could donate. The reason why is because this is going to be very expensive. So we're sending these knives off to Catra. If you're not familiar with Catra, it's an international facility. It's over there in the UK, and they do testing of knives, essentially, cut tests. They've done basically the international standard is ISO 844-5, and that is basically to test cutting performance and durability of edges. And they also are going to Rockwell test the knives as well. Then they're going to resharpen them after we've sharpened. Clint's going to sharpen these all to a 600-degree wicked edge, and so they all have the exact same edge. They're brand spanking new knives, and we're going to send those in. Get them to have the Catra do the cut test and durability, and then Rockwell, and then Catra is also going to sharpen the knives again and test them again. So basically, we're having to ship these knives to the UK. That's going to be expensive by itself. We had to provide the knives. I mean, this one was out of my pocket, and then, thanks so much for White Mountain Knives for donating that S30V Para 2. Make sure you guys give him some love. Justin over there's an awesome guy. I have a discount code with them. But go buy some knives from Justin. He's awesome. And it's going to cost us, I think Clint did the math, to get the knives tested. It's like almost $100 a knife. It's around there to get them Rockwell and cut tested. So it's over $400 essentially is what we kind of came to the conclusion for just those 3 knives. It's going to be pretty pricey, and we're doing this on our own dime. Well, we were going to. So we decided, hey, why don't we ask the community if they want to donate? So Clint set up an email address. I'll link it down below. project.action365@gmail. That's the PayPal. I'm actually blown away. So Clint made the video 3 days ago, the 25th of July. I was out of town this weekend. I was going to make a video right away. I didn't have time. I just got in town. I was like, okay, I'll make a video. We are actually surpassed our goal so far. So what we're thinking of doing is continuing it, getting more knives in M390 blade steel, like maybe a Kershaw Dividend, you know, a little much less expensive one. I've got a couple knives I might throw in there. We're trying to do them brand new though, and not used and sharpened knives, because that can kind of alter the test a little bit. So we're trying to get them all exactly the same as far as edge, and Clint's really good sharpener on the Wicked Edge. He's just going to put them to a simple 600 grit edge and then send them out. We've already funded it, guys, which is awesome. But we're thinking we're going to continue this project. So I say we keep going. If you want to donate, any amount helps. project.action365@gmail.com. That is the PayPal address that is managed by Clint, I believe, and it's all, you know, third party. Like, this is all strictly for this testing, nothing else. I know some of us have sold some knives. I sold a Sabenza recently that was pretty hard to get, just to get some funds. I purchased this guy here. So we're taking action, guys. And, you know, the reason why we're doing this, and people are going to ask why, what's the point of doing this? Well, you know, there's been a lot of discussion and not a lot of action. There has been a lot of action by a lot of YouTubers, and they've done a lot of cut tests. And Outpost was the other guy on YouTube. Outpost something or other, and then Super Steel Steve. You guys probably know him. But they've done a ton of cut tests, and people just are not taking that data seriously. They're like, oh, it's because there's lots of different, you know, variables that can come into place. And, you know, Cedric Caneda has done a lot of testing with M390 at, you know, with his rope cut tests. Like, and there a lot of times it's underperformed. You know, what's going on? What's causing that? And the direct correlation should be Rockwell hardness, honestly. That's kind of what we're trying to, I don't say prove, but we're giving some scientific facts. Like, look, you know, a lot of these steels are not performing any better than your typical S30V steel that comes on a paramilitary 2. They should be. This paramilitary 2 and these M390 paramilitary 2s have outperformed it by a lot. And they should be. Why? Because of Rockwell hardness. Anyway, I'm not going to circle this discussion, but the whole point of this video is to let you know we're doing something about it. We're sending it into a scientific laboratory that does this, so it's completely unbiased. There's no, you know, ifs, ands, or buts. There's literally no way you could really argue this data, okay? That's why we're doing this, because we want to get it out there and say, look, if we're paying M390 on, because it's a premium steel and they're going to charge more money for it, manufacturers are. If we're paying for it, we should get the performance out of it that, you know, that it's capable of. We shouldn't have to pay that extra money and get S30V essentially, you know, because they're just throwing the M390 on the blade and sending it out to us, and we're spending an extra $50-100 a knife. So it's really just about being smart consumers. It's about kind of holding these companies accountable for what they're claiming to provide to us. You know, it's just a great community project, I think. I think it's really cool to be involved with. That's why I raised my hand. Absolutely, I'll be 100% involved. I'll donate, whatever I got to do. So if you want to donate to the project, we are going to be sending more knives in. This is just the beginning. We're going to keep this going. I know we're looking at, you know, like I said, maybe a Kershaw and M390. Maybe we're going to do a Benchmade. Who knows? We're going to, you know, whatever we can get, we're going to do. But it's pretty costly to get this done. That's why we ask for donations. It's awesome that it's already funded. A lot of people, just off Alchemy's video and Instagram post from 3 days ago, we've already overfunded that. That's amazing. That shows how much the knife community is involved in this and wants to know and wants to see these results. So, you know, there's been a lot of naysayers that, oh, it doesn't matter, blah, 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 you know, but it's like, you know what, if you actually use and sharpen your knives, you will understand that HRC does matter, and it has a huge it's not everything, but it is a huge portion of edge retention and how a knife performs. So this is basically going to, you know, put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to do some, you know, scientific testing that is completely unbiased and has, you know, it removes all variables. Like people have been talking about certain different types of cardboard, and that's going to affect things, and you know, yada yada yada. You know what? The time for talking is over. The time for action is now. That's why we're doing this. projectaction365@gmail.com if you want to donate. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Stay tuned. You know, we're going to be doing the results. I'm going to send this knife off to Clint and the S30V Para 2 when it arrives to get sharpened, and then we're going to send him into Catra. You know, I'm sure it's going to take some time, so be patient with the project. It's not an overnight thing. They're probably a busy facility, and they, you know, the shipping to the UK and all that stuff involved. So customs, all that kind of fun stuff. But thanks, guys, for watching this video. Any questions, leave them down below. I will link the YouTube videos or YouTube channels for Alchemy and Sharp Dad, as well as their Instagrams. And Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. See you next time.